Welcome back to our channel, besties. Today is Tuesday, an absolutely beautiful day to dive headfirst into the most unhinged mechanics we have ever witnessed on this screen. Grab your emotional support, water bottles, and buckle up because we are about to tear apart the latest Port Charles update piece by piece. The simulation is glitching, the drama is peaking, and we are so here for it. Oh my god. Stop scrolling right now. I'm literally speechless. Are they for real? I just hit stop on an emergency live stream at 2 a.m. because that cliffhanger literally broke my brain and I desperately need to decompress with you all. I mean, the absolute audacity of the writers to drop this Tuesday. May 5 bombshell on us without a single warning label. We're looking at a full-scale collision of epic proportions across every single map in this game. From the glitz and glamour of the Savoy to the dark, terrifying halls of Wyndemere, and straight into the explosive, high-stakes attic of Carly's house. Every single storyline is detonating at the exact same time. The sheer volume of total kinetic Chow's moments hitting the screen right now is completely unprecedented. I've been following this chaotic drama since I was in diapers, and this is officially the craziest move yet. Legit, my mental state is just a chaotic blur of pixels and tears. We have survived the Hook Killer era. We have survived the Cassadine Island explosions, but this is a straight-up masterclass in raising my blood pressure to dangerous levels. Besties, can we unpack the audacity? Let's start with the absolute high-voltage freakout happening over at the Savoy. Curtis Ashford, looking dapper and commanding the room with that signature swagger, steps up to the mic to introduce the incomparable Michael James Scott to the stage. And let me tell you, when he belts out a jazzy, show-stopping rendition of Friend Like Me from the Aladdin Broadway musical, the crowd goes absolutely feral. It is a god-tier mechanical execution of a crossover event. No cap. Wait. I'm getting way too deep in the weeds, analyzing the lead devs crazy. Update history with these Broadway crossovers and musical guest stars. Remember when they tried this with character during the Nurse's Ball? Yeah, it went nowhere back then either. But this time it hits completely different because the emotional stakes are so incredibly high. Anyway, back to the actual gameplay. While the crowd is slaying and living their best lives, Brooklyn Quartermain is having a genuinely touching, heart-melting moment. Giovanni Gio Palmieri, our resident violin prodigy, actually introduces Brooklyn to Michael James Scott as his mom. Does anyone else feel physically attacked right now? I am sobbing uncontrollably. Brooklyn has been carrying the crushing weight of that Route 91 car crash guilt, hiding the fact that she scraped the guardrail while tipsy, and Tracy is aggressively forcing her to keep it a secret from Chase. So seeing her get this pure, unadulterated moment of maternal validation from Gio is low-key everything her fragile heart needed. Also, while we are still recovering from the emotional damage at the Savoy, we need to talk about Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor. Trina is singing Michael James Scott's praises, being the absolute supportive queen she always is. But then she sneaks off with Kai for some passionate moments in the shadows. Hot take incoming, but I am clutching my pearls in absolute horror of the fallout. Trina and Kai are currently sitting on the massive, explosive secret that Willow Kane is the one who shot and paralyzed Drew Kane. Willow is already spiraling out of control, threatening Jacinda Bracken and sinking to terrifying new lows. Don't you feel it's so unfair for them to be caught in Congresswoman Kane's lethal crosshairs? If Willow finds out they are getting distracted by romance and potentially slipping up with her secret, she will destroy them without a second thought. Facts. But get this, the vibes shift from glamorous and romantic to straight up terrifying as we cross the dark water to Spoon Island. Over at Wyndemere, the tension is thick enough to cut with a rusted Cassadine dagger. Pascal aggressively corners Lucas Jones, making it violently clear that Lucas does not belong in that castle. Pascal is still deeply mourning Marco Rios, and because Cassius planted the incredibly toxic idea in Jen Sidwell's head that Lucas is the killer, Pascal is ready to channel his grief into a murderous rampage. Pascal tosses some lethal threats at Lucas, and I am actually losing my sanity over here. Lucas is just trying to reverse engineer Britt's Huntington's meds to save her life, and now he is staring down the barrel of Pascal's unhinged vengeance. Essentially, the mechanics of this Wyndemere trap are flawless and utterly suffocating. Just as Pascal is backing Lucas into a dangerous corner, Ava Jerome and Jen Sidwell enter the room. The tension is immediately apparent, hanging in the air like a storm cloud. Pascal scampers off like a glitching NPC, leaving a terrified Lucas to downplay the situation and pretend everything is fine. I know some people are really enjoying this dark, calculating Sidwell era, but personally, I am terrified for Lucas's survival. Sidwell remains deeply suspicious, eyeing Lucas like a predator, watching its prey. Sidwell's terrifyingly calm demeanor is low-key the scariest thing on this show right now. He is a grieving father who already blames Sonny Corinthos and now potentially Lucas. And we all know Sidwell does not leave loose ends when it comes to revenge. Dude, I'm so shocked. My jaw literally hit the floor when the scene transitioned to Josslyn Jax's apartment. We all knew Josslyn was playing with fire by pumping Nathan West for information about his late father, the infamous Cesar Faison. But Josslyn, in all her arrogant rogue WSB agent glory, pushed way too hard and ignored every single red flag. Cassius drops the sweet, innocent detective act in a split second, grabs Josslyn's arm with terrifying force, and flat out refuses to let her go. The impossible lightning reflexes of this man, he just snaps. He knows Josslyn is onto him. He knows she found the crystalline conspiracy book and the Faison trademark cigarillos in Ross Cullum's pocket when they were snowed in. And he is not about to let his twin brother's legacy be exposed by a college student playing spy. Is the same tragedy happening to Josslyn all over again? Remember when she was targeted by the Hook Killer? Or when she was constantly trapped in the violent crossfire of Sonny's mob wars? Now she is literally at the mercy of a living, breathing Faison. Cassius is poised to admit he knows she is a WSB agent, which completely changes the dynamic of their confrontation. If Ross Cullum finds out she is WSB, he will kill her without hesitation. So Cassius might actually be warning her to back off to save her own life. But it looks like a straight-up kidnapping in progress. Is Josslyn about to become Spoon Island's newest captive hostage? I am screaming at my screen. Don't you think they should have given Josslyn better backup before sending her into the lion's den with a literal Faison twin who has nothing to lose? And now, besties, we have arrived at the absolute pinnacle of this episode. The moment that literally reset the entire simulation and left me gasping for air. Carly's house. Jack Brennan finally connects the missing dots, storms into Carly's bedroom, and unleashes a wrath so fiery it can melt the Steinmauer prison bars. Carly had just hit the sheets with Valentine Cassadine again, and although Valentine slipped out of the bed before Brennan barged in, Brennan demands to know where he is. Brennan has undeniable proof of her cheating, and the visceral betrayal in his eyes is palpable. I am smashing my shift key because the audacity of Carly to think she could play a former WSB director like a fiddle and get away with it. Brennan flies into a blinding destructive rage over Carly betraying him with another man. Did you really think there weren't going to be any consequences? He screams, his voice echoing through the house. But Carly, being the absolute stubborn, fearless icon she is, does not back down for a single second. She gets totally riled up and fires back with her own devastating receipts. She drags Brennan through the mud for doing something even worse. In her eyes, recruiting her daughter, Josslyn, for a highly dangerous, life-threatening WSB job and lying to her face about it for months. The claws come all the way out, the gloves are off, and Carly finally drops the ultimate nuclear bomb. She looks Brennan dead in the eye and admits that Valentine Cassadine is her lover. And the total kinetic chaos moments are off the charts. Brennan is shocked and angered on so many psychological levels. He thought he had Carly in the palm of his hand, manipulating the board, blackmailing Nina to protect Willow, running the pikemen fall out, and basically ruling Port Charles from the shadows. But to find out that Carly's secret attic dweller, her partner in crime, and her passionate lover is none other than his ultimate rival, Valentine Cassadine. Brennan vows that Carly is going to pay dearly for what she has done, and he plans on making Valentine pay in blood too. The sheer volume of testosterone betrayal and ego clashing in this single room is enough to power the entire ABC network for a decade. And then just when you think the scene cannot possibly get any more intense, Valentine Cassadine actually gets involved in the confrontation. He doesn't just hide in the shadows like a coward. He steps up to face Brennan head on. The god-tier mechanical execution of this love triangle exploding is everything I have manifested since day one of this storyline. Valentine has been intensely jealous, fuming over Carly sleeping with Brennan to keep her cover. And now it is all out in the open, raw, and unfiltered. Valentine and Brennan are two of the most lethal, calculating men in the espionage game, and they are about to tear Carly's house apart piece by piece. I am legit spiraling over the massive lore implications of this heavyweight showdown. This is just my personal take, and many might disagree, but Carly brought this entirely on herself. She wanted to have her cake and eat it too, protecting Jason from Cullum and Sidwell, while using Brennan for top-tier intel and sleeping with Valentine for undeniable passion. You cannot juggle 3 international spies and a mob boss's enforcer without the entire system eventually crashing down around you. But Valentine, sly fox that he is, may have a few more tactical tricks up his tailored sleeve. He is a wanted fugitive, yes, but he is also a Cassadine. He knows exactly when to fight to the death and when to tactically retreat to fight another day. According to the spoilers, for the rest of the week of May, 4 to 8, Valentine's going to reach out to Nina Reeves next. Remember how he pitched that alliance to Carly earlier, saying Nina was their absolute best chance at neutralizing. Brennan Carly was wary, but now Valentine is going to put that desperate plan into motion. He is going to manage to flee Brennan's ambush and slip away into the night, likely heading straight to Nina to cash in on her immense guilt. Nina is currently backed into a terrible corner by Brennan over the Willow traffic cam footage. So Valentine is going to offer her a way out if she helps him escape. I am legit serving a messy mix of we are so back hype and I'm filing a lawsuit levels of frustration because I cannot handle the stress of these cliffhangers. Are we worshipping this incoming storm, or are we clutching our pearls in absolute horror of the fallout? Josslyn is trapped with a Faison. Lucas is being hunted by Pascal. Brooklyn is living a lie while playing mom, and Carly's entire house of cards just spectacularly imploded. We need to talk about the squad. Drop your truth bombs in the comments, because holding this in is literally not an option. Slay PC, slay, but please let my faves survive the week.